So if you're deciding where to stay in Fiji, especially around the main city of Nadi, the Crowne Plaza Fiji is probably already on your list. And so we've stayed here for 3 nights, and I'm gonna break down exactly who this resort is right for and maybe who should consider something else. And so again, we didn't just stay here in isolation. This was actually one stop on a larger Fiji trip where we experienced very different styles of resorts. And so this review is all about the fit, the value, the expectations, and not about hype. And so in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the rooms, the food, the pools, the family setup, and the overall location. So by the end of this video, you're gonna know if this resort actually makes sense for your upcoming trip to Fiji. And so pay special attention to the room section because the 2-bedroom suite with the swim-up pool access is one of the best family setups we've seen near Nadi. So without further ado, let's cue the intro and let's get into this week's review.
What's up YouTube? Trevi from the Adventure Buddies, the modern travel family, bringing you another video filled with tips, tricks, and inspiration to make sure you maximize your next family adventure like we always do here at the Adventure Buddies.
So first, let's talk about overall first impressions. And so the Crowne Plaza Fiji is newly renovated and that showed up immediately. And so everything feels fresh, it feels modern and just well thought out without this over the top feeling. And so again, this is not a flashy, luxurious resort, but it does have a very comfortable upscale feel without that luxury pricing. And so if you like clean designs, open spaces, and a resort that feels current and well maintained, this place checks those boxes very quickly. And so from the start, it felt like this place was designed to make things easy, especially for us families. So next, let's talk about our room because I think that's where the real winner was for us. And so we decided to get a 2-bedroom suite. And so particularly, we stayed in suite 722. And so this was one of the highlights of our overall stay. And so this layout worked extremely well for families. And so think of it, we had 5 of us. We had 2 teenagers and a 3-year-old. And so here we had a full bedroom with 2 twin beds with the 2 teenagers slept in. They had their own bathroom, which again was perfect for the kids. Then you move throughout the hallway past the kitchenette with a sink, coffee machine, mini fridge, etc., which is honestly more than it sounds, especially when you're traveling with kids. Ample counter space, ample opportunities to fill stuff up in that fridge. But then there's a dining area, a living space where you can actually spread out, watch TV, have a meal, a snack, etc. And then you get to your primary bedroom. So this primary bedroom has a large king-size bed and a huge bathroom with double sinks, a floating tub, and a really great shower. And so, however, the feature that really stands out is what happens outside the room. And so the back doors actually open up to a private patio. And this is your own plunge pool. It has a swim-up access to a larger lagoon-style pool that connects the surrounding rooms. And so the kids and us love this. And so as a parent, it just made mornings and evenings so much easier. You just go to the pool whenever you wanted to. You didn't have to gather things up and go. And so if you are traveling as a family and looking for space, this room setup is hard to beat here in Fiji. So next up, let's talk about dining. And so we felt that the dining here at the Crowne Plaza Fiji was nothing short of options. And so food again is an important part of any trip, and the Crowne Plaza Fiji did a solid job here. So you have 3 main restaurants. Harvest is where you're gonna do the breakfast, and you can also do lunch and dinner as well. It had a very good breakfast buffet with good varieties. You have an omelet bar, full coffee bar. And so it was very easy, consistent, and a good way to start the day. And it was able to handle a large crowd without feeling crowded. So next up is Urban Sugar, and it's one of our favorite spots on the entire property. One, because you could eat lunch, you could eat dinner there, and the food was probably one of our favorite entrees there, but we liked it because it has a relaxed atmosphere, it had an open air feel, and you had a DJ playing every single night until about 10 p.m. So it was just a great way to relax and or get up and dance a little bit. The next restaurant, again, was La Bottega. So this is an Italian restaurant. This was probably the best meal on property. Here you have the gnocchi, the bolognese, the steak, everything was really well done. And so if you want one of the nicer dinners during your stay, this is the place to do it. Highly recommend you check it out, La Bottega. Now the next section is where we feel Crowne Plaza Fiji really shines as one of their bigger strengths, and that's the pools and the overall beach. And so the pool setup is nothing short of amazing. And so here on the resort, they have 7 pools. You heard me right, 7 entire pools. That includes a large infinity pool with a swim-up bar. You can actually eat lunch here on the side with little picnic tables built into the pool. They have family-friendly pools. They have pools with a little slide for your kids, so varying depth, so everyone has their own spot that is actually really spread out. And so it made it very useful and easy for us families to pick where we wanted to go. In those pools, you also have plenty of areas to just lounge out and relax. On top of that, there was the beach access. So the beach access felt incredible, not only because the beach was very clean, but the water was super warm, super amazing, and because of the location, there was no waves, and so you could actually walk out there and splash around with your kids and not have to worry about the big waves knocking them over. So an overall great experience with both the pools as well as the beach here at Crowne Plaza Fiji. So in this next section, let's talk about the overall activities that you can do, because there are a lot here at the Crowne Plaza, as well as the overall location of the resort, because that does matter as it relates to additional activities. So the Crowne Plaza Fiji works really well as a base for just exploring the overall area. So on property, there's a full activity schedule with things like water aerobics, volleyball, pool games, and evening entertainments, which for us included a fire dancing shows. They also have non-motorized water sports like kayaks and paddleboards, which is included in the price of your stay, but they also have jet skis as well that are available for an additional price, which Jihan and I had a blast riding around. As we talk to location-wise, it's one of the easiest resorts in Nadi if you're planning an overall day trip. Why? It's a centralized location, and so you can go to places like Mala Mala Beach Club that we did for an all-day adventure, or book an excursion with Brother Surf where we went fishing, snorkeling, and explored Cloud 9. And based on Crowne Plaza's proximity to both the airport and the marina, this is the perfect home base for all your adventure needs, and we made sure to maximize that here in our recent stay to Fiji. So next, let's talk about Kids Club and the overall family experience. And so if you are traveling with kids, this matters, right? So the Kids Club is well run, it's welcoming, and our youngest Olivia had a great time with the crafts, the activities, and meeting other kids. So similar to the itinerary I mentioned earlier, they had a separate one just for Kids Club, and it was flooded with fun activities. And so the staff was generally great with families, which made you feel really welcome, and you got comfortable with them very quick. They also offer babysitting services for around $8 an hour, which again gave us the flexibility to enjoy dinner and live music with the older kids while Olivia was taken care of with a babysitter. So again, we felt that the Crowne Plaza Fiji really tailored to our needs as a family, especially one that had a distinct age difference with a 3-year-old and a 13 and a 16-year-old. So now continuing on with our overall experience, we felt that across the board, the staff was friendly, attentive, helpful, and even fun. That water aerobics was a lot more fun than I'm probably willing to admit. And so the housekeeping we felt was consistent, the restaurant service was smooth, and everything just worked the way that we thought it should work on vacation. So not only does the Crowne Plaza look luxurious, it also felt luxurious based on the service. And then you overlay the overall logistics and location, this place had it all for us. So now let's talk about who is this resort best for. So the Crowne Plaza Fiji, I think, is a great place if you want a newly renovated resort with a modern feel, a luxury style experience without, again, those luxury prices. And maybe you're looking for a family-friendly setup with space, activities, babysitting, etc. Or easy access to day trips around Nadi, or you're just looking for a comfortable, low-stress Fiji stay. However, if you are looking for something a little bit more remote or culturally immersive experience, we've stayed at other resorts in Fiji that offer that, and I'll link those videos above here so you can compare and decide on what you have fit. And so there you guys have it, our full review on the Crowne Plaza Fiji. And wrapping this up, again, we thought this place was absolutely perfect for what we needed to end our trip to Fiji. It was comfortable, it was easy, family friendly, and honestly a great value for what you're gonna get. And so if you are planning a trip to Fiji, highly encourage you to do so. Be sure to comment down below any additional questions you have about that planning process and or about this resort or any other resorts that you may be looking at. We'd love to help you out. And while you're at it, please make sure to hit that big thumbs up if this video helped you, and click that red subscribe button down below for more travel tips and adventures. And so most importantly, remember, life's an adventure. Who are you going on with?